You can cross 4 more names off the list of people running for president in 2020. After an early swing through New Hampshire, it's a no for Ohio Democrat Sherrod Brown. Brown says he's glad he visited early voting states to help focus his party's attention on the struggles of working people, but he thinks he'll be most effective by staying in the U.S. Senate. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg also took himself out of the running. The 77-year-old says he will redouble his efforts to try to shut down every coal-fired power plant in the country and move the nation to a, quote, 100% clean energy economy. His announcement came just hours after Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley said he will not run for president. He claimed the crowded primary field was not a reason in his decision. The progressive says he thinks he'll be more effective running for a 3rd term in the Senate than for the White House. And one of the biggest question marks in the Democratic primary is now answered. Hillary Clinton will not be running again. She told a New York TV station that she has spoken with several of the candidates and will keep working to support Democrats, but she does not plan a campaign of her own. And once again, New Hampshire and the New Hampshire House has grabbed national headlines for less than desirable reasons. This started with a tweet at last week's hearing on extreme risk protective orders that would allow for the confiscation of firearms. The founder of Moms Demand Action, a gun control group, tweeted this: male New Hampshire lawmakers on the hearing committee wearing pearls to mock Moms Demand volunteers and gun safety advocates. Now, that drew a lot of attention, the very serious contention that state reps were somehow mocking Moms Demand and its volunteers. But those who wore and handed out the pearls say that's not true. They say the pearls have been a long-standing tradition with the Women's Defense League of New Hampshire, a sign of solidarity with that organization. Clearly, opinions about the true symbolism of the pearls are divided along partisan lines. One state rep, David Muse of Portsmouth, is saying perhaps it's time for members of the General Court to stop wearing so much paraphernalia that may signal to constituents their minds are already made up before they've heard from the public.
I think it can be a very intimidating thing for people who've come to offer testimony to have to face legislators who are wearing pins, who are wearing buttons, who are wearing pearls and other obvious signs of which side they're affiliating with on the issue.
Representative Muse says he does not believe his Republican colleagues on the Criminal Justice Committee intended to offend anyone, but he does think every elected official should be more aware of how they present themselves to the public. Well, that wraps up this edition of Close Up New Hampshire. Thank you so much for watching. Do make sure to check out the politics page on our website and our mobile app for more in-depth analysis, including political reporter John DeStaso's New Hampshire primary source column, and of course, to sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll be back next week. Until then, have a great Sunday.